Dear subscribers, welcome to our channel. In this video you will be able to see the pits that were excavated before us by looters. They left behind only metal. During our work in the vicinity of those excavated pits, we found the skeletal remains of 2 soldiers of the Red Army. Unfortunately, no personal identification marks and documents were found. The soldiers fortified themselves in the German firing point of a large caliber machine gun, where they died as a result of shelling from artillery. We express our gratitude for the overall development of the channel, support, and understanding of our work. I would also like to express special gratitude to those who provided charitable support for further search work. We will be sincerely grateful if you tell your friends and acquaintances about our channel. We left for the field early in the morning. We were surrounded by a beautiful fog, which is already dissipating. We came across the first signal. A piece of torn box for machine gun belts to the Maxim machine gun system has already been found. There is something below. Probably fragments of a steel helmet. Based on the fact that we found a helmet strap and a piece of the inside earlier.
Maybe is it a balaclava?
It's quite possible. The ground is very hard here. It's hard to stick a shovel in. But the soil is mixed. And this indicates that there was a pit here earlier, but it was buried. It turns out that this is a German gas tank. Nikita is pulling it out now. Now let's look at it as closely as possible. This is what German gas mask barrels looked like during the war. There is no lid. It is strong and has a number on it. Turn it around so I can show the numbers to subscribers. Number 754. There is a splinter bullet. Does not have a lid. There are also no additional glasses. It's a mug. And this is a hook for the helmet strap. Something like a steel helmet.
Is the skin in it?
Balaclava most likely. There are cartridges. Wow, there's so much. It looks like a garbage can. It feels like someone was doing the work before we started digging, so they took everything valuable for themselves, and they put everything else that you see now back in the helmet and buried it. The pit was dug early. Someone was here before us. There is something inside the pit. There is a German unloading. There is a balaclava with a helmet. There is an M39 grenade. There is an F1 grenade. There are cartridges and fragments of skin. In general, A lot of stuff. There is a large number of cartridges, iron cans previously dug. Well, we need to dig the hole to the end. Perhaps the remains remained. We found the remains of soldiers. We have just started our work. In fact, there is already one soldier. It is completely broken, most likely the hit was in the trench. There are also the remains of a second soldier. We see a partial cranium. The people who dug before us found a helmet, pulled it out. They searched for interesting objects for themselves, but did not dig into the remains of the soldiers. The metal was thrown back, and below were the remains. They didn't get to them with just one shovel bayonet. There are spent cartridges from the Spajan machine gun pistol system. We are finishing today's work because the sun is already setting. We have the first soldier. There is a second soldier. We are going to continue the work tomorrow morning so as not to miss any subjects. The first warrior has a cartridge firing, as well as cartridges for the Spajan submachine gun system, 41. There is a chemical pencil in the pocket. There are detonators for grenades. There is also an individual package. Above is an RPG-40 grenade. This is a handheld anti-tank grenade of the 1940 model. So far, no more items have been found. Unfortunately, no personal identification marks were found. According to our assumptions, this period is February or March 1943, because there are buttons from winter overcoats, which pushes us to such conclusions. Of course, it is possible that it may be 1942. When we finalize this pit, we will know exactly what the period is. Good morning, subscribers. We return to the same location where there are two soldiers. These are two soldiers of the Red Army. We are gradually continuing our work. We can already see a large number of spent cartridges. These are the torn bone remains of a soldier. But there is a second fighter. He has a crushed cranium. Now let's take the brushes and continue working. When we finish cleaning, we will definitely show the full picture of the current situation in this pit. We hope to find any personal items in order to find out more information about these soldiers and find out the name of these people. At the moment, unfortunately, we have not found anything like this. The highway is not far from our location. Thank you so much for watching our channel. While one part of our search party is working with the remains of soldiers, the other found the next signal and a wooden box was uncovered here. Most likely, these are ammunition for armored boats with 45mm guns. Shell casings are sticking out of the ground. So far, only one box. Most likely, an armored boat was pulled up here, which fired at German positions on the other side of the highway. A sweep was carried out. Now we can see 10 ammo, 5 pieces in each row. War is the iron of death. We will get it. Here is the first one with inscriptions. It's well preserved. There is a second one. This one is in worse condition than the first one. There is a third one. There is a fourth one. This one is good. There is a fifth. There is a sixth. There is a seventh. There is an eighth. The inscriptions on it are well preserved. 1943. Previously, more than 800 units were raised here. especially in the next field. We hand over such items to the Ministry of Emergency Situations. This is capping. There are still shells, but these are shrapnel. Shrapnel spills out of the shells. Here they are. Apparently there was a box, but it was not preserved. These are loops. Now we will get the second row. Everything is rotten, only fragments remain. But this one is well preserved. There are inscriptions. They crumble in your hands. Well, there is a large number here. What a beautiful height. Everything is very clearly visible. Such heights are very difficult to conquer. In the distance we see a monument to Artem in Svyatogorsk. I hope you can see. The fields are already green. Soon the leaves will fall from the trees. This is a very serious object, an unacceptable height, which is tactically very difficult to conquer. We continue to work with the metal detector. We continue to work in the location where the remains of 2 soldiers of the Red Army. We've finished cleaning up one of them. There are also small fragments of the remains of another soldier. As for this particular soldier, unfortunately, no personal identification mark was found. Of the things he has an RPG-40 grenade. Above the grenade there are cartridges for the Mosin rifle system. There is a belt that is torn. His torso is partially separated into parts. His ribs are broken. His chest is torn. He has a completely missing right leg. Among the large number of casings of salvation lie the fallen soldiers of the Second World War. The fighter has detonators for RPG, 40 grenades. There are also detonators for RGD, 42. There are fragments of a wallet in which there are no documents. There are buttons for a greatcoat in his pocket. We presume that this period is February or March 1943. And in the right breast pocket there is a chemical quarantine and an individual package. Then there are the remains of a broken flask. Some of the glasses entered the body. Glass flasks are a very dangerous object. When it breaks, the glass remains fall into the body and injure vital organs. In principle, these locations are an example of problems with flags. There are fragments of small iron in the abdomen and pelvis. No more items found. Next to him are more fragments of the bone remains of another soldier. Perhaps it was plowed by agricultural machinery or from a shell hit in the trench completely flew out, and small remains remained. From time to time it could be plowed across the field. You can see that the work is almost finished here. We found a helmet earlier, then we took it out, but there was no head. And when we started to go deeper down, we came across bone remains. There were 2 warriors among the metal. Finished the job. You see them in front of you in the position they died. The soldier without shoes. Most likely he was dragged here. There are 3 grenades in the pouch in the hip area. Grenade F1. There is a wooden clasp from the pouch. There are casings for a large caliber machine gun. There is a medical package. Cartridges for the Spagin submachine gun in his pocket. There is a metal spoon. There is an outpatient clinic and a medical pencil. There is a steel helmet. You've seen it before. Unfortunately, no personal identification marks and documents were found. Here is the horror and tragedy of that terrible war. You see 3 soldiers. Only fragments of bones remain from one of them. The second soldier is partially damaged. Fragments in the body, pieces of ammunition. And the third one is completely in anatomy. Legs crossed. Most likely he was dragged here. They are smeared. I repeat that war is a tragedy and the death of millions of people. There are no winners and losers in wars, but only the dead and the survivors. Well, how many of these dead are lying here? How many fathers, grandfathers, and brothers have not returned home? Unfortunately, the soldiers are in these fields without any documents, but we hope that we will find something that will give us hope to identify at least one of the fallen soldiers. If we find out something, we will definitely let you know on the channel. When we took out the remains of the soldiers and began to process the bottom of the pit, we found a bayonet to the Mosin rifle system.